Welcome back to the Porsche Build Project. I sometimes like to think that I'm getting this project done at record time and saving myself some money along the way. I couldn't be further from the truth. Not only have I been working on this for the last 3 months and still haven't completed everything I wanted to, but this is a Porsche and it comes with Porsche prices.
I'll do anything, I'll do whatever it takes to...
Regardless, I was able to get the parts, and what you see me do here is I'm propping up the hood because I have not replaced the shocks yet. Nice.
What?
Now, on the top inside of the engine bay, we have to remove these plastic covers to access the bolts that are holding in the rest of these struts from above. And after we loosened the bolts on the top, I came down to the bottom to remove the weird 24mm shark looking bolt thing. And it took way too much time because the bolt was under some tension for whatever reason. I did not have that issue with the other side, so I'm kind of curious to why this bolt was so hard to take out. This shouldn't have taken this long, honestly. I just gave up on that part for a little while and started just taking off the tie rod connections. A long time ago, when I had an old BMW from the 80s, I was once presented with a problem where I had to press out a ball joint from the tie rods connecting the steering system, and that particular one was stuck in pretty tight. When I tried pressing it out, I actually ended up bending the threads. Was not able to use that part again, which wasn't an issue for me in that particular instance because I was putting a new part in and I wasn't really worried about the old one. But in this instance, I decided to leave the bolt somewhat in the threads so that when I clamp it down, that bolt helps keep the threads in position, gives it a little bit more strength, and it won't allow those threads to bend or buckle too much and render the part useless. So, essentially, I got the old part out, and it doesn't look that much like, it doesn't look like it's had a ton of issues, but apparently what I was told is this is the reason why it's clicking, because there's like bushings inside of this. I was gonna see if I could take it apart, but I don't think I'm that interested in doing that. There's also like a squish noise, so I'm hoping replacing these shocks will get rid of both the squish noise and the click noise. And if it doesn't, then I think we're gonna total this. Yeah, I'm praying that we don't have to total the car just quite yet, because after a bit of finagling, I was able to squeeze the new part in and had to jack up the brake caliper to hold that in so that I could get the shark bolt in, but I really couldn't get the shark bolt in. So I gave up and started working on tightening the top down because I thought that would also help hold the caliper up, and I was right. So it's hard to tell, but I'm back on the top in the engine bay, tightening down those 3 bolts that hold the strut in, because the strut was in place, but it was kind of like hard to get that bottom bolt in and hold the top in place. So I was just like, I'll just go to the top, tighten it down, and then worry about the shark bolt on the bottom. But it was still giving me trouble. I think this side has a bit of an issue because of the crash that it had, but then again, I think just putting in new parts can sometimes be difficult. What you do notice in the video is when I said I put the top on so it wouldn't fall or move, it actually moves a lot. Every time I feel like I got it lined up, the back wouldn't be lined up, so I'd knock the back the other way and then it'd pop out. And then I'd put it back on and I'd try and line up, the front, and then the front would pop out and the back would be lined up, and it was just a big issue. Later on, and I didn't really film it, but I ended up putting ratchet straps to it to kind of like persuade it into the right position. But that's the entirety of the front right shock in. And after we put the top cover in and tighten everything down, we are done with half of it. After completing the first side, I was fairly confident in my ability to complete the other side. So these next 2 or 3 minutes is really just a sped up version of me working on the left side alone. And what you can't really see, it's like kind of out of frame, is like I am like probably 12 inches away from the wall. So like I was working in a very tight space. And I hear it all the time. I get it all the time. Like, Anders, you're the greatest mechanic. You're such a good, you're so good at working on cars. Like, where do you get these skills? And, I read it in the comments and I see it everywhere. And you don't have to put it in the comments, even though I see it in the comments and people put that, people tell me stuff like that. I'm just, here to let you guys know that even for the most like humble auto mechanics, like this isn't a hard job. This is like replacing shocks has got to be one of the easiest things you can do. But shocks are a fairly easy job. This is kind of to show you guys that if you ever do shocks, like it is one of the easiest things you could do. Right next to brakes. Maybe replacing the headlights. And of course, changing the oil is pretty easy. No, I'm actually kidding. Shocks are easier than all those. You may notice at the top that I'm working on something that is not the strut. And I was actually not working on the strut. I was working on replacing a different part. It was actually the control arm link. So not only did I do it in under an hour, but I replaced 2 parts in under an hour, which I'm not going to say anything. The comments speak for themselves. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say. So that's the whole thing. Finished, done, complete. I'm so cool. I get it. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything you noticed that I did wrong, let me know in the comments. Or just email it to me. Or send it to me in the mail. Perfectly fine with me. You could fax it. I'd take a fax. Hit me up on Xbox. I'm on Xbox too. You can find me there. Just let me know.